Maria Bergman's Nature Valley. Lost Horse Creek, Bitterroot Range, Montana. Where's yours? 100% natural, whole grains, delicious. Nature Valley granola bars, the energy bar nature intended.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Right now on Fox 5 News at 10.
Wearing these scrubs and white coats in public is a dangerous fashion statement.
Tonight, are scrubs worn by doctors and nurses putting your health at risk? That story coming up in about 13 minutes. But a developing story is first at 10, a triple shooting in Queens. Good evening to you. I'm Dari Alexander.
And I'm Ernie. Anastos. One of the victims killed, an MTA bus driver.
Fox 5's Christina Park is live in Jamaica with the details still unfolding tonight. Christina.
Good evening to you, Ernie and Dari. That is right. Our sources are telling us a second victim has died tonight from that triple shooting. The sole survivor is here at Mary Immaculate Hospital. I spoke to the families tonight. They are absolutely devastated. More than 100 people stood in shock, huddled together in the cold, comforting one another tonight. Emotions ran high.
Oh, I don't know.
Who are they looking for?
That's my cousin. You don't know who they looking for. He laying right there, and they got him still laying there. That's him over there on the ground, she said.
So he passed away?
Yeah, he's dead, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay, Joni. All right.
Officials say 3 people were shot around 4:30 today. 1 man died in this street. 2 others now in the hospital, one of whom was shot in the head.
He's an innocent standby.
Friends and family tell us Andre, the man who died on this street, is someone everyone in this Jamaica community looked up to.
He worked for the city bus. He drove Jamaica bus. He got married.
Down the street at this barber shop, Troy remembers Andre as a local bus driver everyone loved. On the wall, memorials for so many who have died in these streets due to senseless violence. And now they say Andre will join them.
It happens a lot, though. So I can't say I'm getting used to it, but it happens all the time. And it's sad, there's always somebody I know. Always.
It is indeed very, very sad. Witnesses tell us there was also a fake 911 call, apparently to try to lure police away from where that shooting took place. There was a security camera on the street as well, so if there's any video, hopefully that will help police find the shooter or the shooters. Reporting live from Jamaica, Queens, I'm Christina Park. Dari, back to you.
Christina, thanks. A kidnapping in Brooklyn ends with a police chase and 2 men behind bars. It started in Bedford-Stuyvesant, where a 53-year-old man was abducted near Pacific Avenue. Now, investigators say he was stuffed into the trunk of a dark-colored Nissan. Now, police chased down the kidnappers, rescuing the man and arresting the 2 suspects.
Well, the Bernie Madoff scandal could get heated tomorrow. That's when a judge will announce whether the disgraced money man stays under house arrest or if he has to go to jail. Prosecutors asked for his bail to be revoked after Madoff allegedly mailed millions of dollars worth of jewels to relatives, including his sister. The Post reports today that his sister was one of his Ponzi scheme victims. Dari.
And meanwhile, Ernie, tonight we're learning more about Bernie Madoff through language, body language, that is.
What Madoff says may not be what he means.
Fox 5's Charles Leaf has this story.
Is he a great manipulator? Absolutely.
Tanya Ryman is a nationally renowned body language expert and an author. We asked Tanya to analyze video of Bernie Madoff, the alleged $50 billion investment swindler.
The thing that I noticed, though, is that he still has this little smirk on his face. It's like a, not contemptuous, but more wry. It's just a bizarre smile that he keeps on his face. Is he thinking he's going to get away with this? Is he feeling good about what he's done? That indicates some kind of inward enjoyment.
How he could enjoy any of this is hard to understand. Madoff is facing federal securities fraud charges. But Tanya says Madoff's body language in this video shot before his arrest helps her understand how he could fool so many people.
He's showing you the palms of his hands, and he's trying to be as sincere as he possibly can. And that's the scary piece about it, because all those movements were fraudulent. You know, he's showing you this. This is like, you know, doing something that's completely dishonest because it's manipulative. So people do this intentionally to pull the wool over your eyes so that it looks like you're a very genuine person.
A person Tanya believes is complex, with an almost split personality, very affable at times and yet stoic at other times.
He comes across as arrogant.
What do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say to the public, to your investors?
Wouldn't there be shame ripping thousands of people off?
He doesn't seem to be experiencing shame. And I can assume that based on the fact that he keeps a little smirk on his face. It doesn't seem like there's shame there.
In fact, Madoff has never shown any remorse publicly or said anything to his thousands of alleged victims, some who've been wiped out financially. But Tanya reads an incredible, perhaps telling sign of guilt in Madoff's gestures in this clip.
The person that is buying a share of stock is convinced he knows something that the other person who's selling it to him does not know.
So here he's going, he's talking about himself, and he points directly to himself. And then he goes, what they do is bad, and he once again points to himself. And that says a lot about his character. When you have a pro, it's tough. It's tough to be able to see where the truth ends and the deception starts.
And that is only part of the mystery of Bernie Madoff. Fascinating stuff, though, dissecting his every move. If only some of his investors had had a little bit of that body language training, perhaps they'd have their money. At the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, Charles Leaf, Fox 5 News.
Outrage tonight against the violence in the Middle East. In London and Berlin, marchers show their support for Israel's offensive. This as fighting in the Gaza Strip enters its third week. Israeli ground forces escalated their attacks, sending tanks into Gaza.
And here at home, a local Mideast protest got a little rowdy, and several of New York's finest are in the hospital tonight.
Fox 5's Rob Malcolm is at Bellevue with the details. Rob.
Well, Ernie, Dari, those officers, thankfully, are going to be okay. They were visited tonight by Police Commissioner Ray Kelly. Now, 5 of the officers were taken here to Bellevue, 2 others to Roosevelt. Now, they were injured while trying to break up a fight between 2 men at a Palestinian demonstration. Now, this highlights the fact that this is a very tough job for the NYPD, as this Middle East conflict stirs up emotions not only here in New York, but also in New Jersey. The officers were hurt during Palestinian demonstrations this afternoon at 55th and 8th Avenue. 5 were taken to Bellevue and 2 to Roosevelt with non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, tonight in Tenafly, New Jersey, pro-Israel demonstrators turned out in huge numbers supporting a military action they say is self-defense.
It's not a new situation for us since the road. We know for this situation for 8 years, and I know a lot of the casualties, and one of them was even my cousin. The fighting has lasted for 2 weeks, and as the violence continues, the demonstrations in Tenafly were mirrored in the streets of New York. About 1,000 people joined local leaders this afternoon in front of the Israeli consulate, holding red hats, symbolizing the red alerts, now a part of daily life for Israeli citizens.
These red hats, we vow, will not have to be worn year after year, ever again. The rockets will have to stop.
We recognize the right of the State of Israel to protect itself. We recognize the right of the men and women of that great state to protect its own children.
Now, so far, demonstrations over the past few weeks have been peaceful. This is the first time members of the NYPD have been injured. I should add that they made 5 arrests in this case. We're live on the east side. Ernie?
Thank you very much, Rob. This will be a big week in Washington. Senator Hillary Clinton's Secretary of State confirmation hearing starts on Tuesday. Both Republicans and Democrats say that they don't expect any serious objections and should vote on Thursday. If Clinton is confirmed, then they could clear the way for Caroline Kennedy to be named her Senate successor. Dari.
All right, now we turn to football, where giant hopes of a Super Bowl repeat were sacked today in the Meadowlands.
It was really painful, and despite a dominating regular season, the Giants fell flat in the playoffs.
Duke Castiglione joins us now with what happened, Duke.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. The Eagles outplayed the Giants in all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And you got to give their coach, Andy Reid, and his staff some credit. They drew up an excellent game plan, and their players went out and executed. As a result, Giants done for the year. The Eagles move on to face the Cardinals next week in the NFC Championship game. All right, first quarter, Eli Manning, he's picked off by the Eagles' Asante Samuel. That set up the first Eagle touchdown, 7-3 Philly. Manning 15 for 29 with 2 interceptions. Fourth quarter, the Giants are going to go for it on 4th and inches in their own territory. They came up short. They would also come up short on another 4th and inches a little later on. Eagles upset the Giants 23-11, the final score. And we will have much, much more in this game coming up tonight on 10:30 on Sports Extra. Guys,
Duke.
All right, thank you, Duke. Well, a lot more news to tell you about tonight.
Coming up next at 10, 9 days and counting, the extraordinary steps being taken for the inauguration of President-elect Barack Obama. See what happened at the Capitol today.
And superstar singer Bono and his bold new career, what the celebrity has decided to do now that has a lot of people talking. But first, Craig's here.
You will be talking about the cold as we come along. Looks like we got some flurries coming along for it tonight, but the big story after that, cold, colder, coldest. It's all coming up in the forecast. Stay tuned.
Scrubs worn by doctors and nurses, but now some experts say they could get you sick.
The infection rate goes way up.
How they could be putting your health at risk, coming up. What a week. Have you seen Good Day lately?
New York Governor David Paterson. I have a new addition to my home. Her name is Lulu.
I got a dog this weekend, too. Check him out. Now
that's a dog.
Cory Booker, the mayor of Newark.
Lift those legs!
Fox 5's Good Day New York, keeping it local. News brought to you by the most trusted name in mattresses, Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
Last weekend, Okay, all those in favor of McDouble joining the dollar menu? Aye. Opposed?
Nay. What? He's like twice my size.
Quick, someone call a ambulance for Cheeseburger. Dude, it's only for 10 days.
Sorry, Cheeseburger. Majority rules.
It's official. The new McDouble is now on the dollar menu, but only until January 18th.
She had a terrible cold.
Terrible.
I was grinding my teeth. I typed in stomach fat.
TV. Poison ivy.
I'm always on WebMD.
WebMD has information that used to be scattered in millions of places.
All in one place.
Migraine.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Healthy aging.
I get tips on skincare, beauty, nutrition. It's a Bible to most mothers.
I trust WebMD because my doctors trust WebMD. You find these random sites and you end up wasting a lot of time.
I don't need a million answers. I just want the good ones.
WebMD. Better information, better health.
The fine mist of Febreze works as well in the air as it does on fabrics.
Hello!
Eliminating odors and leaving freshness that surrounds you like never before.
Fabulous!
In fabrics and in the air, it's a breath of fresh air.
Do you have the HP PhotoSmart C8180?
Yes.
The C7280?
Yep.
The C6380?
Yep.
The C5580?
Yeah.
C4580?
Yes.
The meaning of life?
Yes.
You do?
Do you want it on DVD? Special edition DVD? HD DVD? VHS? Soundtrack?
Fox tomorrow.
Get up! I want Bauer out of here. He's dangerous.
It's gonna hurt. You won't have to wait for the first big surprise of the season. Because it's coming tomorrow night.
This is Zach Bauer. I was told to call you.
The 24 season premiere. It all starts tomorrow at 8 on Fox 5.
Well, cases of a deadly superbacteria are on the rise.
And surprisingly, the people who work at hospitals are getting much of the blame.
Andrea Day explains what they're wearing may be putting your health at risk.
When you see scrubs and lab coats like this, you think of cleanliness and how hospitals protect your health. But it could be the very thing that makes you sick.
You've probably seen this before. Doctors, nurses, and other workers dressed in lab coats, even scrubs, out and about from sidewalks to restaurants. Question is, could it put you at risk?
Wearing these scrubs and white coats in public is a dangerous fashion statement.
So dangerous, former New York Lieutenant Governor Betsy McCoy's organization RID, the Committee to Reduce Infection Deaths, is zeroing in on hospitals across the country.
To stop allowing workers to leave the hospital in their heavily contaminated uniforms.
Her committee took these photos as evidence. She says it's proof the medical community needs to make big changes. If you think she's taking it a bit too far, think about this. Experts say drug-resistant bacteria is spreading at alarming rates, infecting hundreds of thousands of people. Bacteria like MRSA and C. diff that can make you very sick, even kill you.
Unlike most of the other bacteria you've heard about that invade your body through an incision or an IV, this one can make you sick simply by getting in your mouth.
And that has doctors at some hospitals changing the way they operate. And not just washing their hands, it's also about what they wear.
MRSA and C. diff can survive on clothing or on cabinet surfaces, the telephone, and your hands for a long time, weeks on clothing, fabric.
And Dr. Michael Perry says the organisms don't disappear until the coats and scrubs are cleaned. Things are different in operating rooms. They're tightly controlled and scrubs are usually taken off right after the operation. That's why RID targets other areas of the hospital, where workers and their scrubs can come into contact with dozens of patients and then move on. It didn't take long for our cameras to find hospital workers on breaks, still in their uniforms, ordering lunch in lab coats, leaning on glass, sitting down. This one with their sleeves resting right on a table.
They pick up bacteria as they go from patient to patient. Then they leave the hospital, go into the delis and restaurants and deposit it.
Right where you could be sitting next.
And in one study, 20% of nurses' uniforms were contaminated with C. diff at the end of the shift.
Should you worry about what these people are wearing? Dr. Perry says the threat is rare, but it's enough of a health risk that rules are changing at Stamford Hospital in Connecticut.
We do not want people out in public in lab coats. We do not want people in the public in their scrubs that they've been wearing in the hospital.
And at this hospital, they're making changes just to be extra safe, like color-coding scrubs, all to control the spread of bacteria.
There's new strains that are much more virulent, are much more dangerous, that unfortunately treatment is hard to enact for. So it's just heightened our intensity about environmental concerns.
But Dr. Perry isn't just concerned for people outside the hospital, but for patients inside too.
It's really a two-way street.
Because if these workers contaminate their scrubs outside and then go back into the hospital, they could potentially pass it along to dozens of patients.
They're endangering their own patients by carrying the germs from bedside to bedside.
And they might not have a clue.
They don't want to harm the public, and they certainly don't want to endanger their own patients.
And doctors say bacteria is typically passed along through your hands. But if your scrubs are contaminated, even if you wash your hands, you can recontaminate them just by touching your scrubs. I'm Andrea Day, Fox 5 News.
Health agencies in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut tell us that there are no specific regulations to cover scrubs worn outside the hospital, and they leave it up to the individual medical facilities to take the proper precautions against spreading infection.
Ernie, news from NASA now. Scientists are launching a new institute for in-depth studies of the moon. Now, the new virtual lab in California will help scientists and researchers from around the world work together. They're hoping that this research will one day lead to the moon being used as an industrial base to build spaceships, launch missions, and also conduct tourism.
Hey, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Pow to the moon, Alice. Remember that one?
Oh, yes, I do.
How can we forget? Hey, Craig.
You know how cold it is on the moon?
About as cold as it is here.
That's right. You hit it. You knew where I was going with that.
We're going to get some cold weather, aren't we?
Really, by the end of the week, probably some of the coldest weather we might have had around here in a decade,
really
possibly.
Bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look outside right now, and you can see that there are snow showers that will be moving towards us during the night tonight, but this is little stuff. And again on Tuesday, and then again on Thursday. It doesn't look like any major storms. Certainly the cold is going to be the big part of the story here. The high this afternoon stayed below freezing at 31 degrees. Actually, that was hit while the rain and freezing rain was falling last night. 25 was the low earlier this morning, and we're not much above that right now. It's 26 degrees in the city, humidity 68%, a north wind now at about 8 miles per hour, so it's driving the wind chills down to near or just below the 20-degree mark. Temperatures right now will take you out towards western Long Island, mid-20s as you can see from Lynbrook on out towards Oakdale as well as Huntington, and across the northeast it is also rather chilly, with temperatures staying in the 20s, but once you start heading on up into the Hudson Valley here and on up beyond the Hudson Valley into New England, it's already down into the teens, and there's some even colder weather to come, and that's what we've been talking about here. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures across the United States, and you notice that the cold is trying to dive on down. Here is your main jet stream, and it's going to dive down through the latter part of this upcoming week. It will send a frigid blast of air pushing down out of the U.S.-Canadian border. The warm air pops up out west. The trough dives down across the east, and we will be locked into that probably for several days to come. Weather-wise, on the weather map now, here's the old weather front from yesterday. Here's the storm that brought the sort of snow. It's still icy out there in spots, as you know, because it was snow followed by freezing rain last night in a lot of locales. And there's the cold front that extends all the way on down towards Florida. Now, behind it, there's really not much in the way of weather systems, no major storm systems, just this little trough of low pressure right here. There's some snow showers associated with it. That's what's going to be coming through during the night tonight. And then after that, each one that comes on through, colder and colder and colder. So, forecast for tonight, we could see some flurries during the nighttime hours. That's about all late tonight into tomorrow morning. The city probably getting down to about 23, suburbs 14 to 20 degrees, and you can see the flurries starting late at night into your morning commute. And again, tomorrow morning starts off with some flurries. It doesn't look like there'd be any measurable accumulation wherever they occur. Then some sun breaks through in the afternoon. We're talking about 30 to 35 for your afternoon high. There's the Fox 5 7-day forecast, and this is what I was talking about. It's not so bad tomorrow, all things considered, with temperatures getting into the 30s. You know what? Look at Tuesday, 41. That could be rain or snow showers on Tuesday. That's the last time you will see 40s or anything close to it around here. Wednesday, it's colder. Temperatures will be in the 20s. It'll be even colder Thursday with some snow showers. And the Friday, Saturday, Sunday highs are incredibly low. Amazing. If the city gets down to around zero, that'll be the first time in about a decade that we've been that low.
Unbelievable. By the way, it was snowing where you wore a little snow on your jacket there. Be careful. We saw that coming down. Special effects, man. All right, coming up, singer Bono has a lot of people talking tonight.
Find out why when Ernie and I come right back.
This traffic tracker is brought to you by Acura and your Acura dealer.
I'm Lori Bordenero with your Acura traffic tracker. At least one lane will be closed in both directions at the Henry Hudson Bridge for construction until further notice. An alternate side of the street parking rules will be in effect on Monday. For all your latest traffic updates, tune in tomorrow morning, 4:55 to 9 a.m. on Good Day New York.
Oh, the line goes.
You only get one breakfast, so come to McDonald's and get 2 hot sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches for just $3.
Let's go ride a couple of dolphins. Come to Atlantis for a great family escape. An Atlantis Sunscape. All the exciting ways to play. All the water slides. All the river rides, all the wonder, all included. And kids under 12 stay free. Call 1-800-ATLANTIS for a great Atlantis Sunscape. Book by January 25th. 3 nights from only $4.99. Atlantis.
My man.
Hey.
What's new?
Just keeping busy. Fios is giving customers over 100 HD channels and a free DVR for 6 months.
Wow, that's great.
It is great.
That is awesome.
Did you just press all the buttons?
No.
Yeah, I think I'll take the stairs.
The stairs don't work.
I saw what you did.
Switch to Fios today and get a free HD multi-room DVR for 6 months. This is Fios. This is big.
At Target, the big brands you love can be found everywhere at mighty small prices. Because today's breakfast tastes even better when you know you got a very special deal. And the little things you reach for all week long work wonders when you know they're not costing you a lot of pocket change. Who said saving money couldn't be a cool thing? Big brands, small prices, every day at Target.
What are you eating?
Multigrain Cheerios.
So, trying to watch your weight?
No, why?
Nothing. It's just the box. It says it's low in fat.
Do I look like I need to watch my weight?
No. It just says it has 110 calories per serving.
Yeah, but there are other reasons why I like it.
I know. It's the box. It just says it's made with 5 whole grains. And that's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. What else does the box say?
Box says shut up, Steve.
Multigrain Cheerios cereal, because it tastes good.
Are you ready? Barack Obama's presidential inauguration is just 9 days away.
Getting close, and they've been holding trial runs of the swearing-in ceremony. and the inaugural parade today. 350 members of the media, 5 military bands, and hundreds of stand-ins took part in today's dress rehearsal. Everyone wants to make sure that everything is just right when millions watch Obama and Joe Biden take their oaths of office. Dari?
Well, he's written plenty of songs, and now he's writing for the editorial pages of the New York Times. U2 singer Bono penned his first op-ed column for the New York Times today. He wrote about his time in Ireland and his opportunity to record with legendary crooner Frank Sinatra. They sang together in the 1993 release of the album Duets. A podcast was also released and is now available for download.
Got a whole new career started there. Good luck to Bono. All right, stay with us right now.
Greg has your wake-up weather next.
I can shovel out this driveway.
I can make it to nap time.
I can finish off this paperwork.
I can put together this swing set by sundown.
For over 50 years, Dunkin' Donuts has been making delicious, fresh ground coffee. So to those who keep America running, we say, with a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'. Get an egg white flatbread for only $1.99 when you buy a medium hot coffee.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes!
Paula?
No. I'm kidding!
Next TMZ, the celebrity pecking order in D.C. ain't right.
I just found out who has one of the best suites locked up. You're never gonna believe who it is.
Monday at 6:30 on Fox 5.
The Men's Warehouse designer suit sale is going on now. For a limited time, when you buy one designer suit, you'll get one free. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
I'm not as old as I look.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, rated PG-13, now playing.
I got a great deal on a flat panel high-def TV.
Well, me too. I got mine at PC Richard & Son. Looks great on my wall.
Mine didn't come yet.
No next day delivery? What about the right accessories?
What?
Do they service what they sell? Who's installing it?
Me and Wally.
Wally? You're gonna need service.
Hey, Wally. Ready or not?
PC Richard & Son. There is a difference.
A traction control system that monitors wheel slip 6,000 times a minute is smarter. Suspension that can self-adjust to changing roads is smarter. A 7-speed transmission that improves fuel efficiency is smarter. All of this in a smaller SUV, that's just brilliant. Introducing the all-new GLK, starting at $33,900.
Fox 5 News, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers.
We've got a couple of flurries in your forecast for tomorrow morning. That's probably all it's going to be. As you can see, temperatures will be rising through the 20s, but the real cold part of the forecast is right there. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, temperatures way below normal.
We got it, don't we?
Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. And that does it for us. I'm Ernie at Anastos.
I'm Dari Alexander. Thank you for watching.
Sports Extra is coming up next.
Wow, bundle up.
When my doctor told me I had to lower my cholesterol, I was shocked. I worried about the foods I'd have to eat. But you do what you have to.
My wife insists I eat whole grain oats to help lower my cholesterol. I made the commitment for her.
I was told eating certain foods can help lower my cholesterol. I guess it's a sacrifice I have to make.
Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
No one said it would be easy.
Be happy, be healthy.
When your transmission has a problem, you have a problem. Don't take chances. Take it to AMCO. We'll diagnose it right, fix it for less, we can even back it for life. And that's the AA promise. Call AMCO. AA MCO.
My man.
Hey.
What's new?
Just keeping busy. Fios is giving customers over 100 HD channels and a free DVR for 6 months.
Wow, that's great.
It is great.
That is awesome.
Did you just press all the buttons?
No.
Yeah, I think I'll take the stairs.
The stairs don't work.
I saw what you did.
Switch to Fios today and get a free HD multi-room DVR for 6 months. This is Fios. This is big.
Well, I felt like I needed an extra kick or an extra little boost to get me through, and from what I hear, 5-Hour Energy does the job, so I decided to give it a try. I like the way 5-Hour Energy makes me feel before games. It gives me that edge that I need and keeps me focused throughout the football game. I tell all the players to take 5-Hour Energy. I mean, they see the way it makes me feel, so I think everybody wants that same type of feeling. I am the 5-Hour Energy guru. It's the truth. I mean, I wouldn't be taking it. 5-Hour Energy. I use it. I love it.
Welcome to Sports Extra, presented by PC Richard & Son.
Hello and welcome to Sports Extra, presented by PC Richard & Son. Well, this afternoon in the Meadowlands, plenty of blame to spread around. Eli Manning had a very poor game. The Giants' defense couldn't pressure the quarterback. The offensive line got pushed around in short yardage situations. They struggled on special teams. Tom Coughlin and his staff didn't have their best game, and without question, they missed Plaxico Burress. So the Giants done for the year. The Eagles move on to face the Cardinals in the championship game. As I said, Eli struggled today. He gets picked off by Asante Samuel, and that sets up the Eagles' first touchdown, 7-3 Eagles. Manning 15 for 29, 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes. Giants defense did play well at times in the first half. Justin Tuck gets McNabb in the end zone, forces the intentional grounding. That's a safety, 7-5 Philly. Third quarter, Giants trailing 10-8. McNabb's pass deflected, and Fred Robbins intercepts it, and the Giants take over deep in Philly territory. But the Giants couldn't get it into the end zone. Eli, a terrible pass to Kevin Boss, and they would have to settle for a field goal. Go to the fourth quarter. That Giants offensive line, one of the best in the NFL, right? Well, they got manhandled at times today. 4th and inches, Eli stopped. Then, a little later on another 4th and inches, Brandon Jacobs, the big fella. Well, Jacobs, he also got stopped, and the Eagles win it. The big upset, 23-11.
I'd say it's just missed opportunities. Well, we did some good things. We drove the ball pretty well. We got into their territory. We got into the red zone a number of times, and we didn't play our best when we got into the red zone, and we didn't convert any times down there in the touchdowns. That settled for 5 field goals, and made 3 of them. That's not to win games in the playoffs.
As always, difficult to see the season come to an end, especially on a game such as today. We practiced well, we focused well. Our energy was all for one for all. We felt like we had a great opportunity to come in here and win today. We did some things very well, to be honest with you, but certainly not enough.
All right, so our question of the night is, who do you blame for the Giants' loss today? Tell us what you think. Log on to myfoxny.com. Click on the Sports Extra button. Send in your responses. Some of those responses may be read later in the show. All right, Andy, you were in the locker room after the game today. Describe for us the mood. What were the players saying?
Duke, you can only imagine. It felt like a funeral in the locker room. The guys wanted this so badly, and the expectations were so high that the Giants are left with just pure disappointment. What happened this game? What was different this season than last season?
We didn't execute on offense the whole day. We didn't get in the end zone. We got down there a bunch of times. We didn't put it in. We kept kicking field goals all game. It just wasn't enough to beat them.
It's extreme disappointment. We let a great opportunity pass by. Very frustrating after the great season we had.
The Eagles played a good game. We just didn't execute. Just like last game, we played them, and they beat us.
Are you guys ready to pass the rain?
No, not really.
So, Dominic, what went wrong? What was different this season as opposed to last season?
We just didn't play our best game when it was needed. Today, we should have, we came out fired up, and we just didn't play our best game.
I have no idea what I'm going to do. I was hoping that we could, continue to be playing. But, we just go back to the drawing board, guys get healthy and stuff like that. And hopefully we can, start off and be able to have another good season next year.
You're already looking for the Super Bowl next year, aren't you? Super Bowl 2010?
Man, we can't wait to get back. It was a tough loss. Like I said, taking nothing away from the Philadelphia Eagles. They was a better team today. And they took advantage of their opportunities. And you can't beat a team like that when you give up so many opportunities on defense like that.
Despite having not gotten to the Super Bowl, was this still a successful season?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we accomplished 2 of our goals. We won the NFC East, and we got the #1 seed in the NFC. So we just came up a little short today.
In disbelief right now, just didn't really figure if the season would finish up like this.
I've never seen a locker room like this. Can you put into words what you guys are feeling right now?
No, you really can. It's just I think the biggest thing is that we wasn't ready for the season to be over with, and to come in tomorrow and have our exit meeting and say that that's it. It just doesn't feel right.
To miss out on the Super Bowl run last year and to just come up short this year, it's heartbreaking. But it's just motivation to work harder in the off season, and then whatever happens, happens.
The goal is a Super Bowl. I don't care if you get there and lose it. I mean, you get there and it's a tie. If you don't win the Super Bowl, for me personally, that's it's a loss for the season.
You didn't have Strahan, you didn't have Plax, you didn't have Osi Umenyiora. How big of a factor did that play?
Well, we understood that this year wasn't going to be the same team as last year because we knew Stray was retiring. We knew Osi got hurt in many training camp, and we know we just had different guys and filling in different positions. So we wasn't trying to be the Giants of last year. We were just trying to go out and be special.
Last year at this time, the Giants had just defeated Dallas. I remember being on the field and just feeling the high off the Giants. And today, as high as they were a year ago, they're feeling that low now. And we'll have more on the Giants, obviously, coming up later in the show. Duke, I'm sending it over to you.
All right, with me now, 2 fellas that know a thing or two about championship teams. George Martin, Sean Landetta. 3 rings between you 2 guys and 36 years of NFL experience. So you guys know what you're talking about here. And we asked tonight in our question of the night, who's to blame, George, for today's loss?
Oh, I think there's plenty of blame to go around in today's loss. I mean, you had an inept offense. You had Eli, who didn't play his best. He didn't bring his A game today. I think you had special teams that had let down. I think even the coaches take a little bit of this blame. So there's plenty to go around today, dude.
Sean, is it fair to say the Eli we saw at the end of last year in the postseason, maybe that could have been mirage? Because we didn't see that same Eli today, and at times down the stretch, he did struggle.
Well, certainly. They lost 4 of their last 5 games, and except for a little win, they would have lost 5 of their last 5. But interesting, they did not score a touchdown today. It's almost impossible in the playoffs to win any game if you do not score a touchdown, even if it's a defensive touchdown. But certainly he struggled today, but, Giant fans don't want to hear this, but they still had a very good year. I think the team's intact, and hopefully they'll be back next year.
When you said they didn't have a touchdown, no touchdowns, 3 for 13 on 3rd down conversions, 1 for 3 on 4th down conversions. I mean, 1 and 4 since Plaxico got suspended, really should be 0 and 5. Did they miss him today?
Well, I think they miss him tremendously. When you have a talent like Plaxico, you can't help but miss him. And I don't think the other guys stepped up and tried to replace that. So I think that added insult to injury. But you have to, in this situation, you have to bring your best game all the way around. The Giants simply didn't do that, and that's disappointing because a lot of Giant fans are so disappointed to have it into a wonderful season that they had.
Is Philly that good, or did the Giants play that bad today?
Well, I think at this point you have to make a case that Philly's that good. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, and their defense the last 7 games have played phenomenal. Plus, they were here a month ago and won a game very similar to this, where even though it was close in the score, they clearly dominated the game. So right now you can make a case that Philly's the best team in football.
Did they get away from the run too early in Brandon Jacobs?
George. I'm not sure if they got away from the run too early, but I don't think they utilized Brandon enough. I think they should have, and most of the commentators agree with this, they should have used him more often. They should have used him more efficiently. They should have used him on that first 4th down attempt, which they didn't. They used him on the second 4th down attempt. They lost that one as well. So I don't think they used him wisely today.
What happened to the offensive line down the stretch? I mean, they were so good, and they were heralded as the best line in football. They struggled here last month or so.
No, they did, and I think the quality of the teams they played may have had something to do with that. As we said, they lost 4 of the last 5. You look who they played against. Obviously, Eli didn't have the protection he had. The offense wasn't able to run, but the thing that surprised me most was
was that they didn't go to Kevin Boss in the second half. He had 3 big catches early and in the first half, but in the second half when they were behind, I thought they'd go to him and they didn't.
Isn't it human nature, George, to say, uh-oh, Arizona won last night. They can't come here to the cold weather. They can't throw the ball in this cold weather. Isn't it human nature to kind of look past Philly a little?
Well, I think it is, and I think we saw a little bit of that today. Unfortunately, you cannot rest on your laurels. They've got to go out every Sunday, particularly in the postseason, because as we said before, it's win or go home, and unfortunately, the Giants are experiencing that right now.
All right, guys, stick around. We're going to ask you about the future of the Giants here. All right, coming up after the break, we take you to Pittsburgh for the Steelers-Chargers divisional playoff game. Plus, Carl Reuter has much more on the Giants.
Now it's time for the Toyota play of the game.
As the Giants start at their own 13, and this one's picked off by who else? Asante Samuel. Samuel is down inside the 5, very near the 1. He had 1 return for a touchdown last week. That is his 7th career postseason interception, and he sets up 1st and goal at the 2.
The play of the game brought to you by Toyota.
This Sports Extra segment brought to you by P.C. Richard & Son. There is a difference.
P.C. Richard & Son has been in business for 98 years. We add value to every purchase you make with our P.C. Richard & Son advantages and services. Yeah, we can match prices, but can they match our advantages? Expert advice, next day delivery, and installations made easy? P.C. Richard does it right the first time for the perfect HD picture, and we service what we sell. At P.C. Richard & Son, there is a difference.
Let's go ride a couple of dolphins. Come to Atlantis for a great family escape. An Atlantis Sunscape. All the exciting ways to play. All the water slides. All the river rides. All the wonder. All included. And kids under 12 stay free. Call 1-800-ATLANTIS for a great Atlantis Sunscape. Book by January 25th. 3 nights from only $4.99. Atlantis.
An urgent message from the Balkan and Icebrook Mesothelioma Hotline.
Exposure to asbestos has been linked to the deadly lung disease mesothelioma. Mesothelioma has affected millions of Americans. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today. Don't let time run out on your claim.
If you've been injured by asbestos, call 1-800-RESULTS. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
When Christmas is over, department stores get rid of their leftovers by putting stuff no one wanted on sale. But what about all that fabulous merchandise still tucked away in warehouses because department stores didn't order as much this year? Marshalls snagged it for their huge warehouse event. Get first dibs on new shipments of shoes, activewear, home goods, and more, all at absurdly low prices. The Mall Slow Christmas is now your opportunity at Marshalls.
Welcome back to Sports Extra, presented by P.C. Richard & Son. Well, this afternoon in Pittsburgh, it was the Steelers and Chargers going at it in their divisional playoff game. Let's pick it up first quarter. Santonio Holmes, former Ohio State star, takes it back 67 yards for the touchdown. And that tied the game up at 7 apiece. Then just before the end of the half, Willie Parker scores to give Pittsburgh the lead, 14-10 Steelers. Fourth quarter, Ben Roethlisberger, remember he got that concussion in Week 17, finds Heath Miller for the touchdown, 21-10 Steelers. And that Steelers defense, they showed up to play this afternoon. They sacked Phillip Rivers here. Steelers win it 35-24, so the Steelers host the Ravens next week in the championship game. All right, back to the Giants now with Carl Reuter. You, like Andy, worked the locker room and the game today. The players you talked to, what was it like?
You know what, Duke, I went in search of answers as to why the once vaunted Big Blue offense fell flat on its face.
You find it hard to believe that you couldn't get low enough in order to pick up 4 inches or 6 inches or whatever it was.
What happened over the last couple of weeks, even if you go back about a month with the offense? Today it seemed like it just wasn't taking place, and this is an offense that was able to score almost at will. What happened today?
No execution. You know, we came out. You know, we didn't match their intensity, and we didn't. It's just no execution at all, nowhere.
And because of that, the Giants' season came to an abrupt end.
Derek, was it more of a lack of execution on your part, or more of execution defensively on their part that stopped this offense?
I think it was more execution on their part. They had a tremendous game plan. You know, they came in here twice and beat us soundly twice.
What happened today? What did they do in particular to just pretty much put the clamps on you?
We didn't make any plays. We made mistakes. We turned the ball over. Pretty much anything that we haven't done in the past, we did today.
Are you surprised at the mistakes that the team did make today?
Of course I'm surprised. Why wouldn't I be? You know, I mean, this is something that we prepared for, obviously. We wanted to go out and do better and perform better than we did today, and obviously we didn't do so. You know, we made a lot of mistakes in different areas in the green zone, not scoring any touchdowns, missed field goals. I mean, anything that could have went wrong today did go wrong.
Giants start at their own 13, and this one's picked off by who else? Asante Samuel. Samuel is down inside the 5.
What was it in particular that they did today to just stop you guys cold?
You know what? I think, you know, probably looking at the film tomorrow, we did some things to stop ourselves. And like I said, you can't do that. You got to be on the same page. And, you know, just a little play here and there, you know, we don't score.
I wouldn't say we weren't effective because of any other reason, for the fact that we just didn't do the things that we normally do. And, you know, I can't even sit here and say it was anything they were doing defensively. You know, we just had, you know, we were inches away from making big plays, and we just didn't get it done.
See, key, inches away from making the big play, and they couldn't get it done. I look at this game, the opening kickoff taken back 65 yards, Duke. Opening kickoff, 65 yards. You've got to punch it in for 6, get the extra point. You can't settle for 3. They settled for 3 all day.
And to add on top of that was the Eli Manning interception shortly thereafter, which led to Philly's first touchdown. And that's where I thought they didn't match the intensity. As Brandon Jacobs just said in your piece here, they didn't match the intensity. And it seemed after that Eli resorted to his old body language that he had in the middle of last year.
Yeah, remember when he threw the 6 picks against Minnesota? Everybody's going, who's Eli Manning?
Right.
What's going on here? They just didn't seem, it seemed like for some reason their heart was taken out of them. And this was the defending Super Bowl champs that lost at home.
And that's where I think maybe the bye week hurts you.
Yes.
It throws you out of rhythm, throws you out of your routine. These guys are so locked into a routine, you know, and then all of a sudden to kind of get out of that routine, you know, that's where the bye week can hurt you.
Yeah, I'm a proponent of the season ends, let's play right on next week. I am big for that.
But Philly was a better team today.
Absolutely the better team, and right now Philly is the Giants of last year.
Yeah, without question. Hey, they had to be thinking to themselves, Arizona right there. It's right there. Arizona cannot win here. And that probably makes it hurt worse tonight.
And now an 8-8 team is hosting the NFC Championship game that you can watch here on Fox.
All right.
Yep.
Take a short break. We'll be right back.
Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
How I see the NFL today is I see the guys are bigger, faster, more talented, and more dedicated. That's how I see the NFL.
Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
What a week. Have you seen Good Day lately?
New York Governor David Paterson. I have a new addition to my home. Her name is Lulu.
I got a dog this weekend, too. Check him out. Now that's a dog.
Cory Booker, the mayor of Newark.
Lift those legs!
Fox 5's Good Day New York, keeping it local.
I'm buying a new high-def TV and home theater sound system. So I came to PC Richard & Son for the complete HD experience. I always get terrific advice, the largest selection and quality brands, the right accessories for the perfect HD picture, even next-day delivery and expert installation. I know PC Richard will do it right the first time. Get the complete HD experience at PC Richard & Son. There is a difference.
What are you eating?
Multigrain Cheerios.
So, trying to watch your weight?
No, why?
Nothing. It's just the box. It says it's low in fat.
Do I look like I need to watch my weight?
No. It just says it has 110 calories per serving.
Yeah, but there are other reasons why I like it.
I know. It's the box. It just says it's made with 5 whole grains. And that's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What else does a buck say?
Buck says shut up, Steve.
Multigrain Cheerios cereal, because it tastes good.
Television sure has come a long way.
And starting this February 2009, TV will be even better.
That's because by law, all TV has to be digital.
If you have cable or satellite TV, you're good to go.
So most people won't need to worry.
But if you receive your signal over the air by antenna,
you'll need a TV with a digital tuner or a converter box to get TV signals.
For more information,
go to myfoxny.com.
Yes!
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes!
Hold on.
No.
I'm kidding! I'm kidding!
All right, we kept these guys around, Sean and Dari, George Martin, to talk about the future of the Giants. And Sean, the Giants have a big decision to make this offseason. Their two running backs, both over 1,000 yards. Derek Ward, Brandon Jacobs. Can they keep both guys?
You know, I think they can. The thinking is how much you're going to have to give to Jacobs. You may not have enough to apply to Ward, and certainly teams will come after him because he's proven himself to be a frontline runner. But that's one thing they'll have to be taken care of. I think other than that, they're in pretty good shape. O-line, defensive line-wise, they have Eli all wrapped up. Bodes well for the Giants having another good year next year.
All right, George, Plaxico Burress, would you bring him back next year?
Were I making that decision, I would have to think long and hard about it, and I think in the final analysis, I would say no. At what price do you pay to bring back this talent that appears to be such a malcontent? You don't know what it's going to take to make him happy. You've given him everything he's asked for to date, and still you have the problems that you have not only on the field, but off the field as well.
Sean, same question.
Depending on how he acts between now and minicamp, I would give him a chance. I think if he came forward to the owners, to the coach, and say, look, I want to change my tune a little bit. I realize the opportunity I have here, what you've done for me in my career. I think if he would do that, volunteer that, then I may give him a chance to come back.
Both coordinators, George, Gilbride, Spagnuolo, they've been, you know, hot commodities as far as filling in coaching vacancies around the league. Did today's game hurt their stock?
Oh, I don't think it hurt their stock. I think what hurt the Giants was the fact that you have other teams that are kind of courting these guys during the playoffs, which is a pivotal time. Where the commissioner, I'd look at that and I'd put a moratorium on it. No one could approach your coaches until after the season is completely done, because I think today that hurt the Giants. Well, I think you can delay the hiring process where it won't affect the teams that's out there looking for quality talent, and yet still it's not going to be a detriment to the teams that are still playing the season. So I think you need to look at that closely.
George, Sean, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Duke, pleasure.
All right, it's time to introduce you to another MyFoxLocker.com Athlete of the Week. This week, we feature Shannon Ingram from Floral Park Memorial High School. She scored 25 points and grabbed 25 rebounds in a recent game against New Hyde Park. The 25 rebounds is a new school record. Congratulations, Shannon. If you'd like to nominate a high school Athlete of the Week, go to MyFoxLocker.com and remember to upload video or photos of the student.
You want a lesson in HD TV?
Go get a Samsung Series 8 LCD with touch of color. Forget about motion blur.
Check out news, sports, and weather on Infolink.
So get into PC Richard & Son.
For the largest selection, next day delivery, and installations made easy, come to PC Richard & Son. Right now, all Samsung HD TVs are on sale.
And there you go. Any questions?
That's how we see it.
All right, Mr. Manning, we'll have you out of here and driving your new Toyota in no time.
Great.
Just sign here, and here, and here. Right by the tab there.
Now's a great time to sign, because right now you can get $1,500 cash back on a new Camry or a 2009 Corolla at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, official vehicle of the New York Giants.
First time I took 5-Hour Energy, I didn't feel bad afterwards. You know, usually you take energy drink and along the next 3 hours at some point, you just hit the wall. And I never hit that wall. It just was a natural energy that stuck with me for a while, 5 hours or so. One of my friends on the team, a guy I'm with a lot, He uses it and he likes it. You know, he calls me, make sure I have 2 when I come in the morning, because he always needs one. I say, well, go buy your own, but I'm kind of like the 5-hour designated driver. 5-hour energy, I use it, I love it.
We had 2 very bad colds.
I fallen off the bed.
I typed in pregnancy.
Cholesterol.
Food allergies.
With WebMD, everything is in one place, from parenting to nutrition.
Meditation, yoga, diet.
Vaccines.
You click here, you're like, oh dang, there's something else.
I found tips for reducing stress.
You just keep clicking, it's just for some reason you just start get the itch.
The sources are so clear.
They're MDs, they're PhDs.
I don't need millions of answers.
Just one good one.
WebMD. Better information, better health.
When my doctor told me I had to lower my cholesterol, I was shocked. I worried about the foods I'd have to eat. But you do what you have to.
My wife insists I eat whole grain oats to help lower my cholesterol. I made the commitment for her.
I was told eating certain foods can help lower my cholesterol. I guess it's a sacrifice I have to make.
Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
No one said it would be easy. Be happy, be healthy.
Electronics Expo is your high-definition headquarters, and now's the best time to upgrade to a new high-definition TV. Come into Electronics Expo, where you'll find high-end electronics from all the top brands, and the X-Tex home installation team to set up your new HD TV and home theater. Visit one of our 7 New Jersey locations, where you can shop in beautiful showrooms or pick up your online purchase. For all of your entertainment needs and extraordinary customer service, expect the best at Electronics Expo.
All right, once again, our question of the night: who do you blame for the Giants' loss today? Your answers. The offense is one of the major reasons why the Giants lost today. Also, the lack of hustle did them in. And I also know that everyone's going to mention and talk about not having Plaxico Burress, Dana in Wayne, New Jersey. Eli. Are you kidding me? He was completely off his game. I'm sorry, Doug from Long Island. I blame Burress for the loss. If he were to play, the Giants would have had a downfield threat rather than Smith, who fumbles the ball at the end of the game with no one around him. That's Kevin in Hillsborough, New Jersey. I blame Plaxico Burress for the Giants' loss. 2 months ago, the Giants were on top of the NFC. Well, Plaxico decided he's bigger than the team. He got into trouble. Since then, the Giants have lost 5 of 6. Andrew in Great Neck. So those are some of the answers from some of our viewers. Andy?
Well, I agree with every single one of those answers. I think it comes down to Eli Manning. He's a big factor. There's definitely not just one. Being consistently excellent without Strahan, without OC, without Plaxico Burress is impossible. So it's a multitude of factors.
Yeah, I think it falls on 53 players and about a dozen coaches. So that's 65 people.
There you go.
I just don't understand how the coaches didn't measure up the fact that how can you be out-intensified on your own field by Philadelphia? This is a team you knew was going to come in here and give you everything that they had, and they didn't match, as you said, Brandon Jacobs in the piece, they didn't have any intensity.
You know, what surprised me is they did really button down on Westbrook. He wasn't a factor in today's game. Granted, he was injured.
He was injured. He had a high ankle sprain.
You have to get to the quarterback. McNabb is a different quarterback when you pressure him. Every quarterback in the league is. He had all day to throw, and that cost him. And, you know, Plaxico Burress, he demands double teams. Nobody else on this team does.
Exactly.
Well, Plax was selfish.
He's selfish, but here's the thing. Eli Manning got so much credit during the playoff run last year. I think he gets that kind of opposite now.
Andy, Carl, I'm Duke. We'll see you again next Sunday night.
Their mother vanished without a trace.
You know, it has been 20 years of wondering what happened.
No one had a clue where she was, but New York City knew.
I don't think there's anything that could actually express how mad I am about that.
Now, Fox 5 unravels a mystery 20 years in the making, tomorrow at 10.
An urgent message from the Balkan and Isbrook Mesothelioma Hotline.
Mesothelioma, a lung disease caused by exposure to asbestos, has affected millions of Americans. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today. Don't let time run out on your claim.
If you've been injured by asbestos, call 1-800-RESULTS. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
We have a great show.
This is American Idol.
I will kill you, and you will stay dead this time.
January on Fox 5, brought to you locally in part by Capital One Bank.